Good morning. Let me begin by saying that this video is not for children under the age of 13 years old. Viewer discretion is advised. Good morning, Craig. Glad to see you in the chat this morning. I guess you're out on your appointed rounds this morning. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. And I guess everybody's getting a late start this morning, which is fine. Excuse me. My allergies is going crazy this morning. Good morning, Hank. I hope you're enjoying your sunny south weather. Poor Nikki with her 2 feet of snow. I feel bad for her. And I think the Northeast is going to be getting more and more of it. So is everybody making the run for Christmas? Getting everything listed? One of my neighbors went out Black Friday shopping this week, or Friday, and really didn't see a whole lot that they were interested in. Good morning, Todd. Can you hear me, Todd? Todd? Good morning. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, there you are. Okay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, there you are.
Okay. Didn't know whether I was having issues this morning, which I'm always having issues. Good morning, Nathaniel Lee. Good morning, Hank. Good morning, Todd. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Any change on your mom? She about the same?
Yeah. They think it's a TIA, which is
right.
A mild form of a stroke, supposedly.
Right.
And the word is so far that they kept her overnight in the hospital, of course, and then this morning, more tests.
Is she in town with you, or is she still in her town and you got to travel to her?
Yeah, she's 8-9 hours away in Oklahoma, so.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And my brother's about the same distance in another town in Texas, so at this point we just sit and worry. She has good friends that take good care of her, but I think we're talking about a greater amount of skilled nursing care.
Right.
It's going to be in the picture real soon. So, man, all that's got to be arranged and finish up these tests. And she would like to live at home. So
Right.
But my brother and I are thinking she needs somebody with her 24/7 now. So
My dad had
Melissa,
a TIA, but it didn't. I mean, it did affect him for about 2 weeks, but then then he kind of pulled out of it, and then he started having problems with his eye. So it's it could lead to other things. You're in
yep.
your mom's in our prayers.
So yeah, we're in the middle of the testing phase. She had she gets an MRI today and something else. Yesterday she had I don't know, you talk to these doctors and some of them like an MRI and some of them like an EKG and some of them like a PDQ and some of them like a radar and some of them like a, so anyway.
It's it's like,
sorry, Nathaniel.
oh yeah, that's terrible. My dad he's had a detached cornea. He can't see out of one eye. The other one, his good eye, he had a detached cornea. So they went in there and they reattached it, and they put some kind of oil behind it to help keep it in shape and whatnot. Well, they went last week, 2 weeks ago, to the doctor, and the doctor said, I want to see him in about 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Well, my mom was looking at the appointment they got scheduled, and they got him scheduled for January the 15th, which is like almost 8 weeks. So she's calling him this morning and talked to one of his nurses to find out, did he want to see him before? Because my dad would like to be back in there. If it's ready for the oil to be taken out so he can see, he'd like to have that done before Christmas. So, you got to pay attention to these people, because I swear they tell you one thing and then they do something else. But, I talked to my mom yesterday, and she said, other than the sight, he was doing good, because he was getting awful feeble there for a while. But he seems to be pulling out of that. So, anywho, well, if we've depressed anybody this morning, I'm really sorry about it. But, that's just freaking life. And when you get to be as old as Todd and I are, you have to deal with that stuff more, especially when that makes your parents even older. My dad will be 86 in January. Yeah, 86 in January. And I'll be the big 62 tomorrow.
Well, happy birthday almost. 62.
That's only a couple of years behind you.
Yeah. I got a few days left until I'm 64. So, yeah.
Maggie said that she's getting really tired of people offering her she goes someplace to eat and they offer her the 65 discount. And we're like, what's wrong with these people? You don't look 65. You don't even look 60. I probably look like about 70.
Everywhere I go, I ask for a senior discount.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't care how old they think I am.
I mean, we've gone to restaurants, just Roberta and I, and I'll go, I'll say, well, I'll take the senior discount if you've got one. And she says, oh, I've already given it to both of you. That just totally pisses Roberta off. It's like, I'm 9 years younger than him. She said, just shh. That's what the waitress says, just shh. So I think they do it at their discretion. Good morning, Spinning and Winning. Hope you're winning a bunch of money. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Nathaniel, I think I'm good on moderators right now.
So
it's you got a lot going on this weekend or this week besides having to see about your mom?
Well, I mean, at any moment I can get a call to come up there, and so deciding whether to put the store on vacation mode now or after I get the call or whatever. I don't want to have to get the call, get a ka-ching an hour later, and oops. Right. So yeah, you never know.
So you would
it's a good
drive.
thing we're in this kind of business though, because you can, if you need to, you can just bam, you got vacation time. You just take it. You don't have to put in a request with a boss to get off for certain days. So, yeah. And then I won't know how long I'll be up there if I do go.
Right.
It could be a couple of days, could be a week, could be, I don't know. There's just no telling. So anyway, yeah, the good news with Mom is she's alive and going to come out of the hospital probably pretty soon.
Right.
She's coherent as much as she can be. She's 92.
Oh, wow.
She's got that 92-year-old crack brain going, you know.
Right.
She will tell me the same story now about 8 times in a week. Mom, you already told me this. Oh, yeah.
Well, you should be used to it with me.
Well, yeah.
When are you the oldest kid?
No, I'm the baby. I'm the baby.
Oh, you're the baby. I was wondering. I said, boy, that's only if you're 64, almost 64, and she's almost what, 82?
She's 92. 92.
Okay.
So she's what, 60? 92 minus 64.
Yeah. You're about 28 years younger than. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, close to it. Whatever. That's close enough.
Close enough. So yeah.
I was wondering because I thought, man, that's people back in them ages didn't wait till they're 30 years old to start their families. Oh, what is she saying? Well, Bridget, you be careful up there with that. Didn't you get a little bit of snow? She said she was running around like a crazy person.
I think she was talking ice.
Okay.
They got more ice than they did snow.
God, poor Nikki. Do you see the picture she posted?
Oh my God.
2 feet of snow? No way. She's a lot more man than I am because my old butt would have already moved south.
That's crazy.
And in like a day. Well, I've told the story before, so I'll just forewarn you. My neighbor is from Buffalo, and a few years back when they had that 5 feet of snow in about an hour and a half, she got caught in traffic on the way home, and she had decided she had had enough, and she got her a job down here, and she and her family moved down here. Her husband got one too, and they moved down here and they're both Buffaloans or whatever you want to call them. She just had enough of the snow. So I guess at some point, Nikki's either going to pack up and move south or kill everybody up there.
I don't want to hear about Buffalo. The Bills just demolished the Cowboys on Thanksgiving football. So I bet we're going to be hunting for a new head coach.
Well, that's like the Panthers. The Panthers have been getting just slaughtered for the last. This is the fourth game in a row they've lost, and one of them they lost. I don't remember who it was. It was like, it was to the Falcons. It was like 29-3 or something like that.
Mm.
Carol said she just shoveled an inch of snow. Cindy Y lives up near Bridget, and she says they have 10 inches.
Well, it's like the Cowboys for the last 25, 30 years have had pretty good teams, but they just can't win anything. And that's been the biggest problem with the Cowboys is
right.
They can take a good team and lose with them. And that's not going to.
Sorry, Carol. I thought that was 1 inch, but she said that was 1 foot of snow. Oh, Lord, you people.
That's crazy. A foot of snow. I've been involved in a foot of snow maybe 4 or 5 times in my life. We used to live in the panhandle of Texas.
Back in 84, we got like over a 2-week period, we got like 18 inches of snow.
Yeah.
And it would freeze and thaw and freeze and thaw and freeze and thaw. And so kids didn't go to school around here for about a month and a half because we have such rural areas that they
couldn't run the buses.
Yeah. I mean, I was working in Rock Hill at the time, and we didn't open the office till late because we didn't want anybody tearing up a company vehicle or getting hurt or, tearing up their own vehicles.
Call from 704810429.
Oh, God. Their own vehicle.
Anyway. So, Tom's gone. What do y'all want to talk about, side chat? Hi.
Sorry, I had to check to see who that call was, if it was anything important.
Yeah. I may get a call at any time, but I don't expect a call till mid-morning because the MRI doesn't happen till 9 or 10. So.
Right.
Our birthday is just around the corner. Yeah, Carol and I are celebrating. Well, she's celebrating her 39th birthday, and I'm celebrating my 150th.
Oh, Lord. Roberta said, "What you want for your birthday?" I said, "Nothing." I said, "Because you're not going to buy me what I want." And she said, "What's that?" I said, "I want one of those stand-up desks that you can raise and lower so I can have it at sit down, and because my doctor says I really need to be standing more than I do." So she said, "How much are those?" And I said, "Oh, about $299." And she said, "Well, I'll see if anybody's got one for Cyber Monday."
I started cleaning off the old treadmill, and I only got about halfway done.
No, that's it. Carol says that's why y'all are like twins. Are y'all's birthdays like real close together?
I think Carol and I have the same birthday. Morning, Mike Batcher.
Yeah, good morning, Mike. How were your sales over the weekend?
They were pretty bad. I sold some things, but I don't know. I'm on the down slope of the roller coaster. A couple of weeks ago, I did really good.
Right.
The last 2 weeks have been really bad. So I don't know. I went in on Thanksgiving and I did 10%. I took off 10% off of nearly every item I have. And it doesn't seem to have helped much.
That's
too much work, Sherry.
like I said earlier, a while ago, some of my neighbors went out on Black Friday and they just really didn't see, unless you were buying something for a kid, toys and that kind of stuff. They didn't really see a lot to pick from that was that big of a good deal. So I'm glad, I've got the expensive age now, so.
Yeah, I don't get many things for myself, but when I do, man, it's something expensive.
Well, that's just, my mom called me yesterday. What do y'all want for Christmas? What do you and Roberta want for Christmas? Blah, 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 blah. I said, nothing that you can afford. And that really pissed her off. And I said, if you're insisting on getting us something, get us a little gift card to Carnival Cruise Lines. I'm sure we'll use that this year. I said, it don't have to be much, for a couple of drinks or something like that. But,
yeah.
It's
like my birthday, Christmas this year is a new iPhone. So
you got the iPhone 10?
Yeah, it's a 10R or 10R.
That's not the $1,000 one, is it?
It was all in with taxes and everything was $650 at the Apple store.
Okay.
But that's still a lot of money to me. I never spent so much money on a phone in my life for me.
Well, my youngest son, he just spent $500 for a damn phone. And hell, I've never spent $500 on anything that wasn't, for the whole family or a requirement for living, that type of thing. But they're young. They're young. Is Mr. Oh, hey, Mr. Sadie, how far? Did you get any snow out there, dude? What kind of camera did you get?
You probably got a GoPro 50 or whatever that newest one is.
Yeah, so he can hook it to the bow of his boat when he's fishing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like I'm being punished. Where are all the girls at today?
Punished. Mm-hmm.
Just flurries.
Well,
a Canon 6T.
So that's a movie and a picture camera, video and a picture camera. Pretty nice. Does that camera Bluetooth with your computer so you just get in the vicinity of your computer and your pictures automatically download?
Oh, that is a nice camera. Yeah, that is a nice camera. I like to have a good camera. Yeah, that's a nice camera, Mr. Sadie. Canon makes it good. It does have the Wi-Fi.
Goes through the Wi-Fi. That's fancy. That's fancy right there.
That's right. He can
Like
take his pictures. He can take his pictures, and they'll go directly to his computer or his with the stuff he's selling.
I remember packaging up the rolls of film and sending them into Owl Photo in Oklahoma, and Owl Photo would develop them and send back the prints, and you go through, the prints are here, the prints are here. And you look at the pictures you took at Christmas in March or April or sometime, and
Yeah, because you forget to send them in.
yeah, or your summer vacation from 9 months ago, and Mhm.
Wow.
So Friday we gathered up the family and we went to the Arboretum and had a family group picture made, and my oldest boy went ahead and they used some of those pictures for, they're going to use those for their engagement pictures
Oh, that's right. You're gonna have a wedding to do, aren't you?
in August.
2020.
Yeah.
No, y'all, you have to do the rehearsal party if they're having
Yeah.
a wedding. Don't get carried away. There is no point in spending as much money as the bride does. You know?
It's going to be a fairly modest wedding, but it's still just expensive as hell.
Yeah. I posted a picture of my niece-in-laws. Well, it's my nephew's new wife on Facebook, and I hate to think of how much they spent on that wedding.
I think in my boy's wedding, we're going to have about 35, 40 people on the groom's guest list, and the bride's guest list is going to be about 150.
It's the way it usually is. But you know what? When I got married the first time, I bet we had 600 people at our wedding. Which I was the first one to have a big wedding on my side of the family. So they came from near and far to attend it. And my ex-in-laws were part of the society, so they had to invite all these people that they really didn't care whether they came or not, but they'd send them an invite, and they showed up anyway. So
Yeah, business contacts and stuff.
Yeah, and all that kind of crud. I mean, it's when Roberta and I got married, we went down to a friend of mine's in Notary. We went down to historic Brattonsville. That's where they filmed a lot of the Patriot at, and she married us, and we're just as married as people spending $1 million for a damn wedding.
Yeah. Sadie was on his way to the casino, and his wife called about a camera on sale, so he turned around and probably saved money. That's funny right there.
That is that, and you probably did, because you probably picked up the camera and then you went back to your house because you wanted to play with the camera, and you didn't go spend a bunch of money.
Oh, this new phone, man, there's a learning curve. There's probably 98% of what it can do that I have no clue about. That's exactly what he did. Sadie's funny. You
He
should
is.
do a video about your new camera. Of course, you can't do that because you're taking the video on the camera.
Yeah.
You could set up your phone on a tripod and do a video of you taking a video with your camera.
Does
Yeah,
it
boy, that'd be interesting.
does it have a mic jack on it? A mic input?
I bet it's got everything. Sadie's rich. He's got to take good videos.
Yeah. He's gonna have that sucker mounted to the bow of his dadgum bass boat. He's gonna be Bill dancing this summer.
Yeah.
Adventures with Mr. Sadie.
Gone fishing and
That's right. Go fishing
just
with Mr. Sadie.
gone fishing with Sadie.
That's a good YouTube name there, Mr. Sadie. Gone fishing with Mr. Sadie.
Mainly wanted it for eBay pics.
Yeah. That business deduction. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. Oh, Lord. It's been 100 years ago. This guy that had a auto parts place, and we did all our maintenance on our vehicles ourselves until it got so expensive that we had one of these guys come out to the office on a Saturday when all the vehicles were there, and he had one of these trailers that he'd just drive the vehicles up on and change them right there. But anyway, up until that point, we went to this one auto parts place, and they bought a plane. And he said the first thing when he told his accountant that he was buying a plane, the owner of the auto parts place, he said the first thing out of his mouth was, "It is not a business expense." He said, "I bought it as a toy. I didn't buy it as a business expense." He said, he says, "A lot of people think that once they can afford something, they can, if they can afford a plane, they buy a plane, and then they think they can write it all off as business expenses." He said, "If you happen to fly to a convention, you can write the expenses off, just like if you were to drive to the convention." He said, "But you can't, just write it off. It's sitting there on the tarmac at your local, what's that, FOB, fixed, whatever it is, the FOB, I think is what it's called, where they, for small aviation, general aviation type stuff."
Mm.
But he said, "No, man, I bought this thing as a toy," because both he and his wife fly. But I got a good job. I got a job working in an acupuncture clinic. I'm fitting eBay around a day job, but I'm loving it. I do enjoy working with people. Well, that's good, Sassy Seller. Are you shoving needles into people, or you just got to sit there and observe and clean up afterwards? I've heard that if you go to a legit acupuncture person, that's supposed to, you're really supposed to be able to feel the results. But I have this huge thing about hating needles. I just couldn't do it. I'd have to blindfold me. Don't think I could go for the needle sticking. Well, I bet it does. I'm sorry.
If I don't get a call today, I'm going to put up some Christmas decorations. I got to get the tree out. I got to put up some house lights. Yeah.
Yeah, my neighbor.
I don't know how many more years I'm going to be able to crawl up that ladder and put up the house lights.
You can't find a couple of teenage boys in your neighborhood that you can slip them a 10 or so and get them to climb up that ladder and put them up?
Actually, it's not. Our eaves aren't all that high.
Okay.
You get that little plastic thing and you stick it between the shingles and the and the wooden part of the roof at the edge. And it's only like 2 steps up the ladder, but by the time you go up 2 steps, down 2 steps, and move the lights, up 2 steps, down 2 steps, and move the lights, you know, by the time you do that 50 times, you're like, that wasn't as much fun as last year.
Good morning, Scott. Good to see you. What happened to Roll Tide on Saturday or whatever it was? Have mercy.
Yeah.
I mean, they got Auburn cleaned them up. And I really don't care one way or the other.
A lot of big teams lost. Even the Texans beat the Patriots. All over stuff.
The Panthers are wanting $128 million to redo their stadium, and they're getting their clock cleaned by everybody. I mean, Atlanta beat them. I mean, terribly bad. I mean,
well, $128 million is nothing.
They just want to
Jerry World.
Yeah.
Maggie.
Good morning. How's everybody?
Good.
All right. You're gonna have to pretend you're a guy. This is a guy's show this morning.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the
No, that's okay. We needed some estrogen in here.
Yeah. Kind of smooth things out. Tom's a little rough around the edges this morning, so.
Oh yeah.
It's good to have you in.
I was like, where are all the girls at?
Yeah, I don't know where everybody is. Good morning, Valerie and Carol, Mr. Stady. Yeah, I'm still not in good voice, though, I'll tell you.
Yeah, you were talking about your voice being bad. Scott, you got time to come in for a few minutes? If you got time, I'll give you the link.
I missed 2 things.
Uh-oh, Maggie's a little glitchy. She's frozen.
Actually,
with her hands
you
stuck
can't
to
make
her
comments
face.
yourself. Am I frozen?
You keep freezing and unfreezing.
Oh,
so
Zoe. Oh.
It's probably all that snow you got in Philly or close to Philly,
wow.
wherever you are now.
Hey, bum crack.
We got nothing.
Yeah, Nikki got it all.
I mean, we're supposed to get some later today.
I just, 2 feet of snow. I just, If the good Lord meant for me to deal with 2 feet of snow, I'd have been born in Alaska.
Oh, Sheridan, you didn't get any snow out there either. Morning, Mike.
And the thing where Nikki lives, it doesn't melt.
No.
So that snow they got is going to be there until spring.
She posted a video of some kids snowboarding down a hill, and you could see. I'm assuming that was Lake Superior.
Yeah, I think she said it was a city street in Duluth.
Yeah. She says that the harbor freezes up, but in Duluth, but because they have an icebreaker come in about March and break it up. But geez, that's a lot of water.
Yeah, that looked really nice.
So has your voice gotten any better?
I just can't. It's better than it was. I mean, I was completely no voice at all, and I missed the performance on Friday night and Saturday. And I can kind of go, but I can't. I can't sing all the way up there yet, so I don't know. We have another show tomorrow night. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it.
You sing bass, don't you?
I do sing bass. I do, so I might be good because I can sing. It's up high. I can't sing, so I'll probably go and do what I can. It just stinks because this is the most fun time of year for singing.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a video on YouTube. It's a gospel group, and they're getting ready to sing a song, and the tenor says, "You know, we're going to switch it up here." He says, "I'm going to sing bass." And the bass is going to sing lead, and the lead's going to sing tenor. And so they start singing, and the tenor is trying to sing bass. You know, he's just not getting it down there low enough. He says, "All you got to do is burp." It's the same thing, but it's pretty cute. Especially the guy who was trying to sing tenor.
I used to sing tenor.
Did you?
I had thyroid surgery that even though they were careful, they knew I was a singer. I completely lost my upper range after that. So, yeah, it really screwed me up.
It's
so on StreamYard here, you can see the live chat, but you can't actually type anything into the chat, right? You have to go back to.
No, you should be able to. Do you not have a box down at the bottom?
No. No, I just see it. It's weird, huh? Do I need to be logged in, maybe?
To YouTube?
No, well, there's a login thing on StreamYard there.
No, you should have to. You're working through me.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And did you see my birthday present to me?
No.
I got your subscription to StreamYard, so I can put my logo up in the top corner.
I thought StreamYard was free.
It is free, but if you do the StreamYard, I mean, if you do the paid version, you can rebrand it with your own brand. And
oh, I see. So with the city picker up in there,
yeah,
I see.
And there's some other stuff you can do to it, but I don't remember what it was. I'm just playing around with it so far.
Oh wait, I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
Sure, go ahead. Anywho,
I heard that Google, the petition that was circulating about Google AdSense to say, hey, we don't want this kind of stuff. I heard they reached their 1 million required signatures to, I don't know what happens next, send it to review or court or whatever.
I don't know whether it's making a difference or not, because what the FTC is doing, I mean, I understand why they're doing it. There's just not enough clarity to it.
Right.
I mean, even attorneys have read that. I've watched their videos by attorneys that have read the laws, and there's so many gray areas and so many interpretations that basically everybody should be getting off of YouTube because you don't know what's really happening. I've just started. I've got everything set for adult content only, and I do the little thing at the beginning saying, this is viewer discretion is advised, not for viewers under the age of 13. I mean, there's nothing else you can do about it. I mean, if you click on, I clicked on there's a thing about we click on that no one under the age of 18 can see your channel. Well, if you do that, you lose all the monetization on it. Now, mind you, that's not a big deal for me. I mean, that's, for people like Scott, who's got a bazillion subscribers and a bazillion viewers every video. That's a lot of money to them. But why can't they do that for like 13 and under? If you don't have an account that's logged for 13 and above, then they can't see your channel. Because half these kids don't have channels. They're looking at their mom and dad's channels. How many times have you gone to the department store, the grocery store, whatnot, and you see the kid sitting in the buggy with a daggum iPad or a cell phone looking at something on YouTube? I mean, well, Sherry, the big deal is 13 and under. So if they just 13, you're either 13 and over, or you're under 13.
But I noticed, I went and looked at the decision. I still haven't decided for my channel. I guess into the month to make a decision.
I think it's the 10th.
Is it? Jeez.
I believe it's the 10th.
Anyway,
now there is some kids out there
you only had 3 choices. One was adult, one was child, and one was child and adult. And I don't know. I guess I'll have to just click adult for mine. I don't know that I've got any content that is not child proof, whatever you call it. Except I've got a couple of videos with, like, at the storage auctions with children in the video, but they're just
but isn't it on that thing? Isn't it more like people that advertise to try to get kids to buy stuff?
It's protecting kids from watching an ad and going to their mom and dad and saying, "Mom, Dad, I want to buy this thing." Instead of parents just saying no, they go to politicians and say, "Hey, make it so they can't advertise geared at my kid
like
anymore."
taking, I know I could get mom's credit card out of her purse and just go buy J. Paul's whatever the hell he's selling.
What they're saying is because these shows make kids think they're show to entertain the kid. What they actually are is a commercial, or a long infomercial, like they were doing with the He-Man cartoons and whatever. Where they're just trying to sell action figures. That's why the FTC got involved in this stuff. It's not child labor or anything like that. It's basically because there's a trade commission. It's marketing to kids. Is the problem, and
what's that channel that Brandon watched where they say they make a song like "Go get your mom's credit card"?
Yeah, that's Jason Paul or
is it J. Paul or
they're all brothers.
PewDiePie. Isn't it PewDiePie that does that?
Is it okay? One of them was merch, get your mom's purse, merch. Go to your mom's purse and get her credit card and buy my merch. And he's laughing, everything's funny or whatever. But that's what they're trying to. That's what they're trying to block is kids buying stuff from your advertising thing.
Tar Jim, did y'all make a selection for your channel, adult?
Yeah, everything. None of it's geared towards kids.
Okay.
See,
we haven't made a video in a month.
I barely like my own kids. I don't want to have anything to do with children. I didn't like myself when I was a kid.
That's the biggest thing is who it's geared to, what your content is. And I mean, there's people, like your little man that you have at your house, he's, 11 going on 35. So, he likes the silver stacking channels and stuff like that.
Well, I was listening to you, and he always logs into YouTube. I guess technically he does have his own channel now, but he used to always just log in on ours. And I remember, must be about 3 years ago, we're in Florida, and he used to watch these. If you go on YouTube, people do like these whole like war movies, but they use plastic army men. I mean, they do these advanced like things, maneuvers with them. I mean, it's like a movie. So Brandon would watch those a lot because he was really into army men. And I've had them in channels, and you'll have like F-bombs flying by or swear words. And
Right.
if it gets too much, I'll be like, no, that's too much. But I remember he's sitting on the couch in Florida watching one of his Army men videos, and they try to make it very realistic, like wartime, like men yelling, you know, and swearing and stuff. And for whatever reason, it was like one of these sentences where paragraphs where they drop like 5 F-bombs, and Jim's mom's like, whoa, did you hear what he's listening to? I'm like, all right, Brandon, here's the deal. When we're at Grandma's house, we don't play those kind of movies with that much swearing because Grandma doesn't. Grandma's more, and not that I want my kid to learn how to swear, but I guess I am. Maybe if I hear like a swear word go fly by, I just ignore it. You know, I'm just like, okay. If it's anything that would be like sexual or dirty or excessive swearing, then I'll be like, no, you need to turn that off.
But back to what the Trade Commission's worried about. My son also bought a $25 gummy worm off
Oh, because of Ryan's World.
because of Ryan's World.
Remember that little prick? Yeah, he's got all those eggs in Walmart right now. He's been on YouTube for forever. Well, my son used to watch his videos when he was like 4 and 5 and ended up buying a like $30 gummy worm, 25-pound gummy worm on us.
Well, it wasn't 25 pounds. It was pretty ridiculous.
It was this long and like this. Jim's like, why'd you buy this gummy worm? I'm like, I didn't buy it. He bought it. We had to put the things on our, you know, where it just automatically wouldn't buy it.
Right. Let me do something here. Good morning, Beth, Reseller Robot. Good morning, couple of pickers. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, Sassy. Good morning, Sherry again. Living History comes alive. Thanks for coming in. Carol.
So
I knew there was a.
how many sessions did it take him to eat that whole thing?
I don't think we ever ate it. Well, I mean, I could eat a gummy worm, but I'm not. You'd have to slice it. It was as big around as a can of cranberry
Oh my
sauce,
God.
and like this long.
It's like the diameter of a beer can.
Yeah.
I mean, and about 24 inches long. Okay, without getting gross here. But anyway, I mean, how much gummy worm can you eat? I
Yeah,
mean, you know, we're cutting into like 1-inch sections. By the time you're through with that big chunk of
yeah, I
gummy,
sliced the
you
gummy
about
worm.
want to get sick.
I knew there was a. This when I go to Walmart, if I go by the toy aisle, it's at Ryan's World. He makes like these surprise eggs. I'm like, oh, that little prick. I forgot why he makes me mad. It was because of that gummy
Well, he's
worm.
little. He's in college now.
Yeah, now he's an adult.
He's a frat boy with a couple girls on his arm, you know, smoking a cigar and a fur coat or whatever they do.
Was he? I thought he was a little kid.
Yeah, well,
He's a man now.
Brandon used to watch those videos when he was 4 and 5, and my
And
son.
the kid was already older. Yeah, he's got to be in his mid-20s.
He's got to be
now.
at least 16 or 17.
Good morning, Lori. How are you?
Pretty good. How are
Here's
you?
Hey, Lori. Here's a bit of advice for you, Tom.
What?
When people make a video on YouTube, they don't stay the same age for the next 20 years. They do age, even if you don't see them.
Oh my God.
Well, I just thought you and Maggie would look fabulous for the rest of my life. You know, y'all look the same.
No. No. Maggie looks good because she keeps herself up. I just gave up and let myself fall apart.
Yeah, we were talking. I guess it was in the chat. And she was talking about she got mad because you know this waitress offered her the 65-year-old senior citizens, and
Yeah, people think I'm a lot older than I
and I'm
am.
like,
Right.
you should have told her to get the hell out of there because she doesn't look like she's that old.
I thought you had to be 55 to start getting that stuff.
Well, some of these places are weird.
Oh.
Yeah.
Julie
my husband-
Ryan is only 8 years old now.
Well, Jim's 54, so he's a year off.
Jim, just tell them you're 55. They'll believe you.
Yeah, I mean, I've had people, like, we were at a store, and she's like, you're a senior citizen, right? And Jim's like, no. She goes, you're a senior citizen, right? He's like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I am. Anyway, you're 55, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway.
How are your sales been over the weekend? Did you sell a lot of
Oh,
stuff?
they were good. I can't complain.
I got 6 going out.
I don't know how many I have going out. How many shipments do you think we got? I mean, there
A
are
lot. Anyway,
Okay.
over 20. But anyway, this lady at the bank, when we got checking account down here, though, I go, wait a minute. It says I get it for $5 if with the deluxe checking. I get it for like half price if I'm over 50. She just goes, well, yes. And then she looks down at my application. She goes, oh, I didn't see the birth date. Yes, you would be eligible for that. I'm like, sweet. I get better looking every day.
You know, thank you for making us all feel good there. But you know, with all the money you and Tara have, they don't
I
charge you
wish I had more.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we
Your money is
$5.
money. This is money just goes through my hands. I get it and I pass it on to the next person. That's about it.
real. I'm not kidding you. Right now in our PayPal account, we have $1.26.
Well, we just went and deposit a bunch of money in our bank to pay bills. Anyway.
If I smoked, I couldn't buy a pack of cigarettes.
Oh Lord,
I
Lord,
find
you need to
Hey,
go
shut
get
our
you a
bedroom
roll of,
door.
you need to go get you a roll of that blue painter's tape and a can of that stuff that they sell to old men that when their hair starts getting real thinning. Have you ever seen them? You
That
can
spray
tell
that stuff.
they spray it because it looks like they have taken a piece of tape and taped off right above at their hairline. Just straight line and started painting it.
I do have some wigs, but I'm not wearing them. I bought them to sell. I bought like 25 of them. They're still new in the box, except for this one.
When my sister-in-law lost her hair, she didn't do the wig thing. She had one wig and then she said that was too much problem.
They're too itchy. I don't like them. I don't like wigs.
So she started doing like the kerchief on the hair.
Yeah.
And I'd call her Haji because I told her she needed ruby right up there. She says, "Well, buy me one."
how long do you think it'll take to go back, Lori?
What's that?
How long do you think it'll take to grow back?
Well, my hair grows pretty quick, so I look for it to be about an inch long in about a month. So, I mean, it's already
No, it's
a
getting
lot
darker
darker than
since
it
you had it
was.
caught. It's quite a
Yeah.
bit darker right now.
It grows fast. So that's why I said I'm not worried about it. It'll be that long in at least a month.
I mean, because when you did it, you looked really bald, and now you have it's all dark.
Yep.
Well, you know what the
Yeah,
difference
it'll
between a
quick.
good haircut and a bad haircut is, don't you?
A month.
About 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
About 2 weeks.
Yep. So, but yeah, it don't bother me any. I was due for a cut. I went a little extreme, but I look like
Sherry
a
said
cheap
you look
cat.
Chia pets.
when I was a teenager, first of all, my dad was old school, and I had to beg him to let me grow my hair out long. It's supposed to have been over the ears and off the collar and that kind of stuff. So I begged him to let me grow my hair out long, and he says, as long as it doesn't get any lower than your shoulder. So it was always right here. And then I went. Once I got into high school, I was working on one of his survey crews, and I'd go out and get stuff in my hair, and my mom would have to, she'd comb my hair and look through my hair to make sure I didn't have ticks and stuff like that. And so I went to get out a haircut, and it was over the ears, about an inch long all over. I came walking into the house, and my mother said, "Who are you?" And what happened to all that begging you did to get your daddy to let you grow your hair out long? So it got too much. Once the time got back, started coming on, I let it grow back out. But I had to beg him. He was, because when I was a little kid, up till I was about 12 years old, we wore flat tops. Y'all know that's what those are, don't you? Right?
Yeah.
They're about half-inch straight up on the top.
Yeah.
It was it was cut straight across the top. There was no, it was just about shaved on the side, not quite. But our neighbor was a barber for the Navy, and my dad told him, you know, we went to the barbershop to get it done. He said, "Good Lord, bring them over, line them up, bring them over here. I can have them all done in about 20 minutes." Because he said, "I've done so many millions of those things. It's like zip, 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 zip." And we really liked it because we were in and out of there. And really, it was good because we played in the woods. We played in the swamps, you know. Oh, there's a vacant lot that they've just cleared, and it's nothing but 3 inches of mud. You know, we played in it. Our mother didn't like it too well, but we played in the dirt. So it was easy to keep. It was easy maintenance.
I told you, my mom, I was like a horse. After the school year, they would go and cut my hair short. I hated it. And then turn me loose because they're like, no, enough. And you get it all full of burdocks and stuff. So you got to have short hair. And I hated it.
Yeah, I mean, those were the best thing during the summer was those flat tops. Well, you were a girl, you know, girls.
I was a girl? Okay, yes, in the physical sense. I was a total tomboy when I was a little girl.
Yeah, I know that.
I hated dolls. I hated dresses. I was like a wild horse. After the school year, you turned it loose in the field, and then you called it back in at the beginning of the school year to try to clean it up. I mean, I was like a wild child. My uncle, but they would like call me, like they wanted me to come back to the house. My uncle could do that where you whistle with your fingers in your mouth. I can't do it, but it's real loud, and that's how they would call me home. So I was like a wild colt that you just turn loose. Anyway, I lived on 40 acres of farm. We had cows, we had fields, we had stuff, and that's all I did all day.
Good times.
Yeah.
Kids don't know about that now. A friend of mine's got 3 daughters and a son is the baby, and I'm like, them girls probably take forever to get ready in the morning. He says, no. He says the girls have got it down to an art. They're in and out of the bathroom because the girls share a bathroom, and the boy has his own bathroom. He says it's Travis that's in there doing his hair. You know, it's got to be just right, whatnot. And then he puts his ball cap on, and don't mess with his ball cap because it'll mess his hair up.
Yeah, we could be just as bad these days.
A couple of pickers says used to take her 2 boys to the Navy, or take their 2 boys to the Navy base to get their summer cuts, flat tops.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the thing.
Yeah.
All year round, we kept them like that.
Yeah, my
One of these days, I'll take. I mean, it was maintenance. I mean, my dad got a set of clippers one time, and he would start learning to cut our hair to save some money.
Jim cuts Brandon's hair.
We were like, I'm going to bed. It's 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, but Dad's going to get our hair. So that's when we found out our neighbor. Well, we knew our neighbor was a barber, but that's when he said, "Bring them over here. I can have all 3 of their heads cut in 20 minutes." But my brother was older than he's 5 years older than I am, so he was in that he would become a teenager like in 65. So he was a little bit more particular about his hair, that whole Beatles crap going on and whatnot. Butch wax. We had this stuff. I don't remember what it was called, but it was like in a shoe polish tin.
Like fop or
I don't know what it was.
Dan.
It looked like a can of shoe polish. And
Is that like Dapper Dan, or is that just a palm whatever they call it?
Like a play school now?
No, like what's that stuff you put in your hair, but it's black colored? It's like shoe polish. That's not that wouldn't be like, like Dapper Dan. What do they call that stuff? That grease you put in your hair? I forgot what they call it.
No, because one of the ringmen used it.
Oh, down here.
Yeah, I seen him with a thing of it.
Well, ours was clear. It was just like grease.
Yeah, but like, there's a name for that.
Dibbity do for men. Because my dad, when we got, we would do, most of the time we brushed our own hair on Sunday mornings because when we went to church, it was suit and tie. We wore a Sunday morning, Sunday school, and Sunday preaching. It was suit and tie, and my dad would put that stuff on his hand and run it through our hair. Then he had this little horse brush, is what it felt like. I remember to this day. And
when I was a kid, we used it was called Brill Cream.
Brill Cream.
Yeah,
that was one of them. But that I don't think that was it.
No, it's like DAP or something. Is what they're.
Pop? No.
Hey Rita.
They're one of my favorite movies, in
No, that's a real product. Yeah,
but Dapper Dan is a real product, isn't it? Because he's like, I'm a Dapper Dan man.
I'm not sure if that is a real product. But Brill Cream was real because my mom used to put in my hair.
Yeah. Greasy is all good.
My mom said that when she went on a double date, and her girlfriend's date, he was out of Brill Cream or whatever, so he used that stuff you rub on your neck, that mix or whatever.
Oh my God.
She said, yeah, they're in the car. They couldn't wait to get out, because he was just stinking them out of the car because he smelled like that mentholatum or whatever.
Okay. When I was in high school, I have this thing about boys are stupid and girls are crazy. Okay, this is case the point here. There's like 4 couples. We're going to go out to the movies and stuff like that and have dinner. And there was a black couple that was part of our little group. So we were all invited. All the guys was invited back to his house. So we were gonna camp out basically in his backyard. And so we all meet up over at his house, and then we're going to go around and pick up the girls because I had the wagon. My dating vehicle was styling and profiling, 1970 Kingswood station wagon. Anyway, so he's putting on. It's the predecessor to the stuff that black kids used to put in their hair. It really oily looking. Anyway, he says, so we're getting dressed, and one of my friend, he put some of that on his hair, and it just made his hair look like he hadn't washed it in a week. But he left it in his hair, and we went and picked up all the girls, and his girlfriend was the last one, and she looked at him and she said, let me get you some shampoo and a towel.
Oh boy.
She wasn't having any of that. The greaser look had died long time before then.
Oh, I thought that's when you were going to the sock hops yet there, Tom.
No, we didn't do the sock hops.
Oh.
We didn't, besides the prom in the spring, we didn't have dances at our school.
We didn't have like
we did. We had homecoming and prom, and I think there was another fall one and a spring one.
No, we didn't do any of that kind of stuff. We weren't allowed to do anything. We had prom. That was it.
You weren't allowed to dance when you were. I thought the Victorians used to like to dance.
What about like the Charleston?
No, I thought like Victoria. Remember in Gone with the Wind, they go dance at the balls there. Didn't you get to do that?
No to Bill, the attorney.
I know if you were in mourning, you couldn't dance, but I mean, otherwise you're not.
Todd, back me up here. No, that was a school board thing because that would require spending money, by having the school open on. So we had junior, senior prom, and that was it. And the band could have 1 concert per year.
Was this during Reconstruction? They just didn't have enough money to do that kind of stuff?
It's during the 70s. Damn. Jesus.
Or maybe it was when the stock market crashed that Black Friday in 29.
Jim, you got to get your woman under control.
He walked away.
Dang. Bust my behind, won't you? Thank you, Craig, for jumping in here. I appreciate that. He says, how did you have a prom back then, Tom? Was there music? Because I've talked to I remember having party lines on our telephones and stuff like that. And one of them, he must have been about 7. He says, "Did you have to walk up to it and twist the thing knob right up and say, Beulah, get me Josie Smith?" And I'm like,
yeah, Tom had to play the harpsichord for any music.
And I wish I could play the harpsichord.
You want to see something really cool? I have this whole big set of these Russian postcards. Let me see if I can get. But they're all like the Tsar's family and relatives.
Wow.
Cool.
And they're old ones too, but they put them in a book. Like here's that sister-in-law.
Right.
She turned into a nun. And then did you know her story is they threw her in a pit and threw a lit dynamite down the pole to kill her when they had the revolution or whatever. Anyway, it's really cool. It's all like these Russian postcards. Yeah, but that was in a hand grenade, not a stick of dynamite.
Was that have any of them been posted?
Some of them, some not, some have. Like this is cool. It's Russian writing, but it's like some kind of wizard. I don't know if it's supposed to be like Rasputin or what. Can you read Russian, Tom?
No, but if you hold it up again, it might be a case where it might be a.
Maybe that Rawlings woman could read it. It's like Harry Potter.
I can't remember.
Oh no!
I can't see it.
Well, that's because I took it down. They got some Catherine of the Greats in here, but yeah, it's mostly like the Tsar's family.
I can't really see, but it could be a Greek, a Russian Orthodox priest.
Oh, okay. Well, do they look like wizards?
For a second, quit moving it around.
Well, I gotta
They
find it.
have that monk. They have that monk-looking thing.
Yeah, but this guy's got like trees drawn on his robe and stars on his
I doubt
robe.
that. That's probably just. That looks like. Now that you got it closer, that looks just like some kind of magician or something.
Yeah, I don't. Anyway, I just thought I've had them I bought them up in Wisconsin, and these are kind of cool. These almost look like propaganda, don't they?
It almost looks, yeah.
Anyway,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, there's all different kinds. Like there's Nicholas.
Right.
That's really cool.
I got a lot of pictures of the family. Oh, here they are in their full like Russian garb. They're like royal, whatever. Where? Yeah. Anyway.
The ceremonial garb.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hank, for that. She said, did she go up with a bang? Or went out with a bang? Craig, you still on the road? There's Sally.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Sally.
How you doing?
Doing good.
Good. You sound like you're sick.
Huh?
You sound sick.
I just woke up.
Did
I'm
you jump any
fine.
snow up there, Sally?
12.
Oh yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. We got like probably 1.5 inches of ice. And then we got probably 6 inches of snow on top of that. Lovely.
We got nothing but rain. Nothing but rain down here.
When Nikki got most of that-
I'd take the rain if you want to switch.
Poor Nikki. That's all I got to say about it.
Yeah, she got a lot.
I seen that picture. It's like 25 inches or something like that of snow, or
Yeah.
whatever. That's a lot of snow. in one
Yeah,
night.
it is. Yeah, it is. That's where
That's
you can't
crazy.
walk right, you know.
Well, you can't drive either. 2 foot of snow.
No.
That's halfway up your car door. Stay in
Yeah.
a car. Lordy days.
No.
I can see why they have so many snowmobiles up there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I sure would have them. I'd park the
So,
car
yeah.
in the garage and have the snowmobiles ready for the winter.
Yeah.
You think there would be a lot more work from home people up there?
Is Todd headed up to the hospital or what?
Is he here? He was here.
Yeah.
Oh.
We gotta get her through some more testing and stuff, and then I'll probably get a call later today.
Oh. Well, I hope everything goes good with that.
That sucks.
Yeah. It's not good on the one hand, but it's better than it could have been on the other. So
Right.
we're hanging in.
Oh, so.
So Sister Valerie's supposed to be back on Thursday, right?
She's coming on the 5th. Yep, Thursday.
Good morning, Gate City. Good morning, Shirley. So you're in mid-Michigan, and Sally, you're in upstate Michigan, right?
No, I'm in mid-Michigan too. I'm in the top part. I'm in like the Tom. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is the lower part of of Michigan. Okay, because there's a lower part, and then there's a lower peninsula and an upper peninsula.
Right.
Okay, and I'm like right here.
Okay.
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 So it's I'm in the lower part of Michigan too. Hi Hank.
Y'all
Hi Rita.
need that snow up north.
Yeah, I was just hoping that we weren't going to lose power.
I just want Nikki to stay the hell at home so she won't slip down and try to grab something to catch her fall and end up messing up her hands even worse than
Well,
they are.
that's not going to work.
I know.
Well, you can't just stay in the house up there if you live
What
there.
is it about these
You need
guys
a house
that can't
out
get
of
their
north.
under control?
Are you getting snow by you right now, Lori?
No, we got just rain.
Oh,
It's like
it
in
was
the 40s
snowing.
here right now.
It was snowing here this morning, and it's only supposed to get up to like 35.
They cancel school?
No, they went to school. Brandon was hoping it was going to snow more, but
I was down in Kentucky yesterday at my son's place. The first time I got to see it, they take care of a bunch of horses, and I loved it.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
How
they're
far
down?
down?
They're down in just outside of Augusta. They're right off the Ohio River there, down in it's on Mary Eagles Highway or something like that. Dover, I think it's called Dover, Kentucky.
Oh, that must be quite a bit north of me.
Yeah, I know it's an hour and a half away from me, so it's like wow.
Because I'm like an hour and 10 minutes south of Lexington, southwest of Lexington.
Mr. Sadie, you just need to become a snowbird. He says, I hate winter. If it wasn't for my kids and grandkids, I would not live in misery. I mean, Missouri. You know, I know you people grow up in these icy pits of hell, and I know they love it up there, all their families up there. I
didn't grow up here.
Oh, I know you didn't. I know
You
you.
moved there for love, though. So.
Yeah. That's even worse.
I mean, not really. I moved here because Brandon's family was here, and I thought about, if my mom was still alive, I'd want to be close to her, So that's the reason why I moved us here, and we needed a different place of scenery, a change of scenery, and be able to get the kids in a different school, like smaller classrooms, basically,
Right.
and stuff like that. That's what the kids needed. So I did it for a couple of different reasons. But Brandon was already out in California with me.
Oh.
So he was out in California with me for 5 years before we moved here.
Sister Valerie's wanting you to move to Texas with her.
I don't know if she does or not. She might just want to be alone. I don't know.
I think she's gotten tired of being out there, by herself.
I think she is too.
And
but she won't be by her.
I'm talking about without family close by.
Yeah.
Her in-laws are not her sister or her children or y'all's brother. Because y'all have a brother, right?
Yeah, but he lives in South Dakota, and she ain't going there.
Now
to live.
I keep forgetting, is this brother your father's son or her father's son?
We haven't been able to tell yet.
Okay.
But we're thinking her father's son. But yeah, I don't know if I'm like a Texas person. I don't know. I mean, I could definitely pull off the whole howdy, y'all.
Is that how they talk down there? Howdy, y'all.
But I don't know. I lived in Oklahoma for a little bit, so the draw tends to come very easily for me. But I don't really like the weather in Texas, and I don't really like the weather in Oklahoma either.
Oh, here's one, Tom. Here's one. Here's Rasputin with the king and queen. Sees the king is sad, and the queen is having a good time with Rasputin. Yeah. There's the liquor keg.
I just can't imagine. Is there a postmark on that?
This one wasn't posted. It's got Russian writing at the top here, and somebody wrote close to the people Rasputin with a little, just wrote it, but no, they didn't post them. Some of them are posted, but not all of them. It's quite a collection. I mean, there's 3 books, and each book has at least 75 of these postcards in it.
I must have been, in a previous life, I must have been part of the Russian royal family, because I have loathed that man ever since I read about him in history. Rasputin and Lenin. when we were in Russia, it was pretty cool because there's Lenin's tomb, and then there's the mall where if you back in school you saw pictures of them having the big parades with all the missile launchers and tanks and whatnot. And on the other side of that, what they call the mall, is a mall. And that when we were there, when we went and got Sergey, there was like Louis Vuitton and all these designer, Gucci and all those designer clothes were inside that mall. So Lennon had to be across the street just rolling in his grave. We've got pictures someplace around here standing in front of the cathedral.
Mr. Sadie wants to know what's the value on something like that, Tara. He's never.
I don't know. I think maybe I should part it out. I was going to put it in a lot together. There's 232 of them.
Wow.
I've been sitting on them for like 2 years because I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just get around to it someday. And they were here, and I'm like, screw it, I'll just put them in a lot. But now part of me is like, I wonder if I should go through them and part them out.
Yeah. Ready.
All right. So you haven't looked at comps on those?
Not really. I remember when I bought them in Wisconsin, and they didn't even say what they were. They were in one of these boxes, and they're these little tiny photo albums, and they just said box of postcards. And I think I paid $5 for them, but they never said what the subject was. And I just thought, oh, they're just going to be, I hate doing postcards, honestly. They're just going to be a bunch of postcards. But anyway.
Those should probably be really collectible there. If nothing else, I'd start them high and let them make offers.
I got this. This I did separate out. It's a national shooting gallery, the souvenir of the civilian martyrs of the Great War. So it's World War I. And it's like all these pictures. There must have been some kind of like killing up in Belgium, but it's got actual postcards of the dead bodies that they dug up. And they're real pictures. I mean, those are dead bodies there. Not too gross. I hope you're marked adult. But anyway, there are people that were killed in this atrocity, and then they dug them up and took their pictures. Or I don't know if they were put in a mass grave and this is them burying them or what. Anyway.
So if somebody who speaks Russian or has an acquaintance that speaks Russian, you might have them reach out to Tara.
Why? Oh.
So they can tell you what's on the back of those cards. What the cards.
Well, you can look at. I mean, this I can pretty much figure out, like the Russian ones. Like obviously this is the Tsar's family. I mean, so, right. And the ones that are posted are written in English. They were sent back here to the U.S. So I don't know if it was somebody that was, well, this might be in Russian, but there is some that are written in English on the back.
Okay.
So, has anybody gotten any mysterious packages in the mail like I've gotten?
No, Laura, ever figured out who sent them?
No.
Nobody.
I have no idea, and I have no idea who sent Brittany's to hers, and it's weird. And I said, well, I would have thought it would have been somebody that knows me, considering it's a lazy light. That's what I call them. But
what is it?
What is it?
I call it the lazy light. You know, it's like the Christmas light. It's or like the Halloween light that I had back here at Halloween.
Okay.
But it's just a little bitty one. You know, so they call it a stage light, and you put different slides in it to have different images. You know, circulating.
Okay.
Oh yeah, cool.
So this one's got like snowflakes for Christmas, and then hearts for Valentine's. I'm thinking, it's just
probably sent it to you.
It's Do what, Sally?
I just said somebody probably seen that you have one of those, and then said that you needed a Christmas one. Yeah.
But it's weird because they didn't use. They had my personal address. I don't know how they would have gotten that. and
Right.
they used my name rather than my channel name. You know,
Lori
Yeah.
was a secret admirer.
so
Yeah.
it's weird.
Yeah.
So, and how they got
Huh.
my personal information, my address, I have no clue because it's nowhere, you know, on my channel or I mean,
Right.
the only place that it is my
You never given it out.
no, just the return shipping through eBay. That's the only other place that they could have gotten it. But even my
Oh.
channel, I've linked, you know, my store to my channel, so that's the
Right.
only connection that I can see is that it could have been a viewer of my channel. So, but even so, I'd like to know who, so I can thank them. You know, because it's cool. I said, well, it's got to be somebody that knows me and knows I like this stuff. Now,
Right.
with Brittany, that was a whole different thing. She said, I don't even wear stuff like that. That's that expensive. So she said, it's nice. She said, but I didn't order it. So
And there was no like return address, or was it like a company return address?
what was it?
There was no return address, or was it from like a?
It was actually sent to her for Brittany. It was actually sent to her mother's house, and she's
Ah.
moved from there since because they've moved to Kentucky. So
Weird.
and I said, you didn't order it or use your card or anything online? She says, no, I didn't. She said, I don't. So I asked my son, I said, you didn't order it for her? He says, no, I didn't order it either. So it's weird.
Yeah, Tara, look at that link. You may have a gold mine.
What'd you say, Todd?
Look at that
Look at
link
the
in
link.
the side chat. You may have a gold mine.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw one card sold for over $200.
That's cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I just hate putting. Well, yes, that is the best way to sell them, but I have like no patience for like doing them one at a time.
I have a lot of patience for making $200 an item.
Yeah, I know. Well, that was one card, and they also have like cabinet photo ones in there, so I wouldn't necessarily call that one like a postcard. So
Right.
I got 232 of these cards.
You got how many?
232.
Well, that'd be some fairly decent change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mr. Sadie said that there's Russia and propaganda is really a hot topic right now.
Oh yeah, and it is cool. Like you do have some of these Rasputin ones in here, so they're cool subjects.
Are you still playing with those Hunter Biden postcards?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's the Ukraine, Jim.
Have mercy, Jim.
So yeah, if you got pictures with Rasputin and Tsar,
Well, no, there's no actual photos. This are draw. Oh, well, this might be. I don't know if this is Rasputin here, or maybe it's just an Orthodox priest. Oh no, this must be like somebody in their church. But there's a lot of extended family members, like his brother and like the relatives and stuff. It's cool. Like I said, I've had this thing for I think 2 years at least.
So is it of the royal?
Yeah, it's most. There are some postcards of Catherine the Great, but they're mostly are the last Tsar of Russia, Tsar Nicholas, the one that got killed with his family. So you have like pictures of the kids, like Anastasia.
That's what I was gonna say. You got any of the Romanov or whatever they call them?
The Romanov.
Yeah, well, the Romanovs ruled like Russia for like 500 years, but this is the last of them that actually got killed.
They actually tracked the heir apparent to the Romanov throne, and he's like a an accountant in Canada.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're related to, obviously the British, all the royal families are pretty much related.
Yeah, Victoria was known as the grandmother of Europe.
Like, here's this. Did you guys watch the Netflix show? They had the Netflix did a like mini series. Actually, it's really good if you like that kind of stuff. But here's like this Dmitry Polovich who was one of them that killed Rasputin.
Yeah.
He was like, he was the Duke of Russia, but I don't know if he was a nephew to the Tsar or something like that. Anyway, it's cool. I mean, I'm like, well, I'll never get around to it. I'll probably just keep them. They're kind of cool. But then I'm like, well, do I really need to keep it? I'm in this like, do I really need to keep this stuff? I'm not a museum. I'm not a curator,
Mr. Sadie said even at 20 a piece, though, like if you could sell them for 20 bucks a piece, Terry, you could, get like 4K, for all of it. But
just imagine if they all sold for $200.
Oh yeah, well that would be like
$46,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be worth it though to put them all up, like
Probably.
on auction separately?
Probably.
Yeah, lot them together and put them on auction and see what they got. Or see which ones are worth the most by themselves and then auction them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, that's why I've been sitting on them for 2 years because I'm like, oh yeah, postcards. I'll just set those over there.
Good morning, down the rabbit hole.
What are the dates on the ones that have postmarks?
I don't know because this is like in Russian. So how do they do their date?
The numbers should be the same. You should see like.
This one is like postmark Hindelburg, so that's Germany, right?
Yeah.
But then it's got 10-10-99 1-2V. I mean, and it's an old postmark, but that's not a date. What does it say here? Oh, and it's written in German, so I can't read it.
Mr. Sadie says, did you get them in a $3 box?
I paid $5 for the box of postcards.
Wow.
Well, this card is some kind of thing they're celebrating, and the card itself is $18.99. That's the date on whatever thing they were doing for this card, and it's a picture of the royal family. Maybe it's an engagement because I thought he married his wife after 1900, but I'm not sure. Anyway. I'll sell them as a wholesale lot, and some other reseller could make a lot of money.
I'll give you $10 for them.
No, give me 1,000 and I'll sell them to you, Tom.
1,000?
Come on! If they're worth, okay, Mr. Sadie said at $20 a card. How much were they? How much did Mr. Sadie said? $4,000.
Yeah, 4K.
Oh man, look at all you can make $3,000. Where can you invest $1,000 and make $3,000 return on it?
You're gonna leave some meat on the bones. Yeah, that looks like an engagement.
$3,000 ain't enough meat on the bones for you? Good grief.
What's his name down in Florida? Chad. He said he used to drive him crazy going places and people would, ask how much they wanted something for something at a yard sale and they'd say, oh, I want such and such. And he's like, man, you got to leave some meat on the bones,
Oh boy.
So are y'all going to put your stores on vacation or whatever, or change your shipping date about the 20th, or you just going to roll?
Why are we doing that?
I didn't know whether you just kind of like take some time off at Christmas time or whatnot.
The middle of fourth quarter before Christmas, I'm going to take 3 weeks off.
People have, if you haven't gotten it shipped, it's not going to get there before Christmas.
Whatever, it's still the best selling season. I
There's
mean, you're
still
right in the,
shopping.
you're right in it. You're in it right now. You're in the selling season. Yeah, I'm gonna take like 3 weeks off here until after Christmas.
By the 20th
Hell
of
no.
December, by the 20th of December, I am done shopping. I am done spending money.
You won't give me $1,000 for these postcards, and you take 3 weeks off before Christmas, Tom. That might be a problem.
I had some of my best sales on Christmas Eve and Christmas last
Yeah,
year.
Yeah.
because people are just in the mood to buy, even if they're not
Yeah.
going to get it for Christmas. They're just like in the mood to buy now.
Yeah.
And then the great thing about January is sometimes in January you'll get higher like returns at the beginning of January, but then you're coming up on the end of January into February's tax return season. I mean, this is like some of your best time.
I just had my season of returns. I had like
Oh,
3 in a row.
really?
I had like 3 in a row, and I'm like, okay, that's it for me. I'm done. You know,
I don't
No more.
I don't have what I hate is, and I don't have a lot of Christmas decorations listed right now, but Jim calls remember what was Subway? It was like something in February.
Jared,
Yeah, $5 footlongs, whatever they called it. But Jim calls January Returnuary because we would sell like all this like Mr. Christmas stuff or these big displays, and the a-holes would use it for Christmas and then return it to me in January. So they decorated with it. They're gonna put it away now. You got 30 days to return it, so then they're sending the crap back. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's one bad thing about like if you sell that Christmas decorations. Sometimes you do risk it with that.
right. No, but people are still in the mood to buy, and
Yeah.
still they're like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
I have a little bit of money left. Let's
Yeah.
blow it.
Yeah,
on something
or my family got me a bunch of crap I don't even want. I'm just gonna go buy my own stuff anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
They didn't get what they wanted. I get lots of sales on the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I stand corrected. I just
Yeah.
making conversation. Look at the information that has been given out just because
I'm doing a listing right now, so tell me what was said.
And Bumcrack calls it Scamuary.
Oh, that's a good one too.
And also January is not a bad month. It wasn't a bad month for me last year either.
Oh, you're coming up on tax returns. The people that are going to get a tax return, they're already figuring out what they're going to get back, and they're already getting itchy to spend it.
Yeah.
I'm losing 2 tax deductions next year, so I just
Oh,
not happy about that.
Yikes.
Well, you need to spread the wealth. Don't be so stingy with your money.
All right,
Yeah, buy Tara's $1,000.
Sally, I mean, they're telling me it's worth $4,000. I mean, that's a good deal for $1,000.
Yeah, I
Nobody's
wouldn't pay
listening.
$1,000 for it, but just because I don't know what you got. You know, I mean, if you showed me one by one what you have, then that
I
might be
got to do
different.
230. I have to do a video showing each of these postcards one at a time. Good grief.
Yep. That's what I want. I'm trying to I ate some fries, but oh my God, I had such a bad, I feel like I had the flu last night.
Drink some Pepto-Bismol.
I don't have any.
Uh-oh.
What?
What? You drank it all up already?
What?
I drank it all.
Uh-oh. Somebody got on a Pepto-Bismol binge one night. Grounding her tears away.
I can see Sally walking around with a straw sticking out of the bottle. Like most people drink a milkshake. She's drinking, hey, Pepto shake.
It's so yummy.
talking about drinking this Pepto out of with a straw. We used to years ago. I guess it'd been in the mid '80s, late '80s. We used to ski with the family. That was from Vermont, and he was when he was like in his 20s going to university. He was a ski patrol, and he said, you know, every day we would have to rush somebody to the emergency room because they were OD'd on NyQuil. or I mean, they weren't dead, but they were headed that direction because they were drinking NyQuil. And I'm thinking, damn, that's an expensive way to get drunk.
Yeah.
Because that stuff is not cheap.
No.
No.
Mr. Sadie said it would take him 10 years to research them. He said, if I need more.
I've owned them for 2 years.
Oh, man.
So you imported them to Kentucky.
Yeah, I bought them in northern Wisconsin. And I know I think I paid $5 for them, but I definitely didn't pay more than 10. And then because I was like, oh, their postcards are probably just, your souvenir postcards. And I opened it up, I'm like, oh, wow, these are really cool. And then I just sat on them.
Well, give them to the little man. Let him add them to his store.
What? Yeah, no, I'm not giving him to him for him to sell. And then I got to give him the money and do all the work. No.
No, it's time for the young man. He's 12 now. It's time for him to learn the ropes.
He does it, but I still type his description.
Why are you doing that? You
Well,
should be able to type a description.
I know, but he just takes the pictures and he's like, here, Mom, do the listings for me. And then I'm so stupid, I just do it.
If I take some pictures, can I send them to you and say, hey,
No.
Mom?
No.
Hey, Mom.
I was all right. I was also the kid that used to wash their own mouth out with soap. I'm not saying I'm real smart.
Well, you're not a real horse person then, because I tell you what, all the ones I know, they cuss like daggum sailors.
No, well, I do. I cussed horrible. And then when I was a teenager, I did too. No, my mom had me trained like really good when I was a little kid, like in that, let's say 4 to 7 age bracket. She'd be like, I don't like the way you're acting right now. You're sass talking. Go wash your mouth out with soap. And I was so stupid. I'd walk to the bathroom and go wash my own mouth out with soap.
Oh my God.
She didn't have to follow me in the bathroom or anything. The door was open so she could see, but I'd be like, come on, no. She's like, I said, go wash your mouth out with soap. And I was so dumb, I'd go in there and do it.
Oh my God.
That's good. If you think about it, that's good training. That's like really good training. You don't have to do it yourself. You tell them to do it and they go do it. I mean,
yeah.
Have a good trip, D90. Thanks for stopping by. Sass talking. I thought they quit saying sass talking in like the 1930s.
I wasn't trained that well, Tara. My mom would send me out to get a switch for her to spank me with. I'd say, no, why would I go get a stick for you to hit me with it?
I
maybe got spanked twice. But they do like my uncle would do this thing. He'd be like, I'd be acting naughty. He'd be like, that's it, I'm taking my belt off. And you ever see like a guy when they're like, I'm just gonna take my belt off, he's like jerking his belt around. And I just run and they just let me run away. And they didn't really want to hit me, it was more to make me go away. I think I'm gonna take my belt off. All right, I'm out of here. Anyway. But I did wash my own mouth out with soap. My mom did this thing. Like, let's say you're at church and you're acting naughty or not being good. She had these long dragon nails, and she'd pinch you in this soft skin right here under your arm.
Oh my God.
With those dragon nails. And she just stand real nice. She goes, you're going to start behaving yourself, right? And you're a kid. You're like, yes, yes. Oh my God, please. Yes, yes. And then she just keeps saying, are you sure you're going to behave yourself right now? Are you sure? I mean, that'd shake you up like that. You don't have to get hit. Somebody's pinching your soft skin here. I mean, it hurts.
Yeah.
I got the hand to the back of the head.
Well, when you have to paddle Brandon, you better not leave any marks. The DSS will come get you. Is that what your neighbor said?
Oh yeah, you can't leave a mark that lasts for more than 24 hours. So initially it could have a mark. You can't have a mark that lasts for more than 24 hours or be bigger or round than your thumb. I mean, that's a big damn mark you're leaving on your kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of standing there, and he doesn't say spanking. He's like whooping. If you got to whoop your boy, and you don't call him like your son or anything, it's your You know how they say boy in the South, but it's like boy.
Oh,
You have to
Oh.
whoop your boy.
Yeah.
You and I'm thinking he's 12 years old. I don't think. I mean, he's as tall as I am. I'm not going to be doing a lot of whooping. You know.
yeah.
Well, see that you're just wrong area. You know, down here we beat the hell out of them at 25 years old, and they stand there and take it.
Yeah, I mean, I walk around the Walmart here, and there'll be like a kid acting naughty, and they'll be like, "You want me to whoop your ass right here?" Like you just don't hear that up north. It is kind of funny. I don't care, but I'm just like, yeah, you just don't hear that. I've seen kids getting a whooping in the Walmart. I've seen kids threatened with a whooping in the Walmart. Everything, you know.
When my son got taller and bigger than me, all I got to do is grab his earlobe and pinch it, and he's down on the ground. So I'm like, you better come on, or you're gonna look like an Ethiopian. I'm gonna pull that earlobe all the way down to your kneecap. So.
I learned when I think Job turned, I think he was around 9 or 10, and he cried and then he laughed, and to me it was like it was like you're making me crazy, and you're not really punishing me, you know, type of thing when I spanked him, and it made me feel worse, you know, than probably he did. And so I was like, fine, I'm just going to take away your games. And you want to traumatize a kid that's a gamer? Take away his freaking games. You know, he will straighten right up. He'll do everything on that list you want him to do and more, and you know, to make sure that he's got his game time.
My nephew used to piss my sister off to no end. When she go to spank him, he go, hee, didn't hurt.
Oh my God.
I would have been in prison. I would have been because I would have made him not laugh.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's like that kid's ass was made of stone. I mean, my dad would whip him and he'd do the same thing. I didn't hurt.
My Vanya, until he was about 11 years old, I'd say, if you don't straighten up, boy, I'm gonna tear your butt up. And he would just stick that little narrow butt out at me, and then it was on. Somebody was getting an ass whooping, and I'm telling you. Don't taunt me. Don't taunt me. Don't laugh at me. If you're the one that's going to pay the price.
I think the only thing I hated was that, you know, I usually got the hand on the back of the head. I'm surprised I'm not permanently bald back there, but it's like we was watching NCIS and they were talking about being Gibbs slapped. I said I've been Gibbs slapped before that show even was thought of, but the worst one I hate was the quick smack right on the lips, right in the mouth. I hated that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Real quick pop. I was like, ooh, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
You want, just don't hit my mouth.
And if you were in the back seat, it might be a backhand too. And those
shoe.
Yeah, those were not fun.
My dad
I never got the shoe.
My dad
had like a boomerang shoe.
My dad always taught me, don't make me pull this car over apart.
Mm-hmm.
We'd be going down the road, we'd be fighting in the back seat. Next thing you know, we're sitting on the side of the road, and he's dragging our little asses out of that back seat.
My mom could throw a shoe like nothing I've ever seen. if we'd run, buddy, that shoe'd come pow.
and I don't feel like he abused us. You know, I looking back then, I thought he was killing us. But looking back about it, being that I've got 3 sons of my own, and I've talked to other people that's got children too, and they're like, we thought we were dying back then, but looking back at it, we deserved it, because
I don't know if I deserved what I got.
The road now and look in the car beside you. If they've got little kids, the kids are either watching something on the car's video system, or they've got some kind of device in their hand.
Yeah.
I deserved everything I got because I was a hellion. And my mom could wield a shoe like a ninja star and a broom like a staff. I've never take my feet out from underneath me. Put your ass down. Okay.
You know, back when I was a little kid, we didn't have game systems. We had to do like the ABC game, you know, pulling letters off of signs, or we had to count cows. You know, one kid would have each side of the car, and you would count all the cows you saw, and then if you came by a cemetery, you had to bury all the cows and start again. So for the modern age, when we were going down to the beach this past weekend, we were doing making them play, our kids who are in their 20s. We were making them play. One of them had Waffle Houses, and the other one had Cracker Barrels. And they had to count them on their specific side. And like if the person that was counting Cracker Barrels had a Waffle House come up, then they had to throw all their stores in the garbage can and start all over again. I cannot stand unless I'm really not in the mood for crap. I just don't like them sitting back there missing everything that's going on, playing with the boxes. Because I give them a historical lesson. I give them a history lesson, like I've made the trip from up here to Myrtle Beach so many 100 times. You know, I'll say that used to be such and such, and there used to be an aviation museum here.
Or this is where we tried to. This is where we took back Fort Sumter from the dirty Yankees. Or
yeah,
this is where we marched along the beach to Fort Sumter.
Ah, dang, Tara. How old do you think Todd is? Todd's 2 years older than I am.
I don't know, but I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about Todd.
Yeah, but you throw a Todd up there too.
Todd was probably in Texas riding around looking like the Lone Ranger or something.
That's right.
We were still fighting Comanches in Texas. Well,
growing up in Charleston, we were at the beach. I had a cousin that lived at the beach, so we went to the beach a lot. So when we went on vacation, we went to the mountains, and we would go up to Cherokee, North Carolina, which is the home of the eastern band of Cherokee Indians, the Cherokee Nation. And they still, to this day, have the same gift shops with the same crap in them. And it would be like the headbands and the tomahawks with the rubber mallets, the spears with the rubber spear tip on them.
Coonskin caps.
And the headdresses and stuff like that. So you could tell who had been to Cherokee in the neighborhood that we lived in, because you'd see all these little white boys running around with tomahawks, either irritating their younger brother or sister with, or where they'd taken a couple pieces of cloth and made a loincloth out of them, and
What kind of town were you living in where kids are running around half naked with just loincloths on?
Well,
I've seen kids playing Indian, but never taken it
find out the gutter, they'd just stick like down the front of their pants or the back of their pants. Nothing but a loincloth.
Bow and arrow with the suction cup on the end.
Yeah. And you know what? What is it they call it? Like you're stealing their history. What's it called?
It's not appropriate. There's a word for it.
Reappropriate. Maybe
no, reappropriation is that where you like redistribute money? But
where's Jim at?
Hey Jim, what do you call it when you take another ethnicity's like identity? There's a word for that.
What?
Like when you take another, like Elizabeth Warren did with the Native American, you take another, assume like part of their, you know what I mean, like stuff they relate with in their own history. But there's a word for that. You know what it is?
A-hole?
No.
Anyway.
I don't know why you try to include Jim and something like that.
Anyway,
Poser. Charlatan.
No, there's a word for
Fake here.
it. Okay.
appropriating their culture or something like that.
Yeah, there's a word for it.
Anyway, they were making a fortune off of all these little white kids, selling their souvenirs and trinkets and whatnot. And so, it was a case where
Cultural
it's what?
It's cultural appropriation or misappropriation.
Yeah, that's it.
Term.
That's it. So we were.
So is that like if I act like if I'm really from the suburbs, but I act like I'm from the hood?
Yeah.
There's a word for that too. I can't remember. I think it starts with W.
Okay.
Yep.
What was
I
that?
think
Chicken?
You're not right.
You got the barbecue thing.
Y'all were so much fun.
Barbie.
We're half left.
Oh, it's getting bids now? Oh, good.
I think it was Eddie Murphy that used to do a cartoon or comedy routine.
Was he in whiteface?
Huh? No, he was.
Is he a white guy?
He was telling a story of his neighborhood where he grew up, and he said, "You know what? If you he would part of his routine was he would tell about how the white kids talked, and then he would tell a story about how the black kids talk. And he said, you know what? If you mix the groups for a while, the black kids don't come out talking like the white kids. The white kids come out talking like the black kids after they mix it up a little bit."
Yeah.
I liked all his early year stuff.
Did you watch the Dolomite movie, Tom?
It's on my
man.
list.
It's good.
He's really good in it. I mean, it's way better than like Nutty Professor or any of the stuff he's been doing in recent years. It's really a good movie.
Eddie
Yeah.
Murphy did another good skit though, where he would have wear like white person makeup, so he'd be made up like a white person.
I thought
So
it was Chappelle.
no, that was Eddie Murphy did it first. He'd go undercover and he'd go like place, like a restaurant or something. When the black person was in there, it'd be all quiet and whatever. As soon as the black guy left, it was just the white people. And then he's with them now because he's wearing the makeup. He sees they're all like partying and having a good time or whatever. Like when the black person goes up the newspaper stand, they got to pay for the paper. But when the white people go, they just hand them handloads of papers for free and all that stuff. The black people aren't looking. That was for Eddie Murphy had some good stuff.
Mr. Sadie,
It's a movie where he dressed up like a Jewish guy. Forget.
Julie Barnum says, Vannerum. Sorry, I destroy names. The sound of a switch being stripped of its leaves coming up behind me when I wouldn't come when called still visits my dreams.
Boy. Yeah, I never got those kind of beatings. Jim used to get beat, but I never did. I was an angel, really.
I could see where Jim would be the kind of got beat.
Yeah, he got it good.
When I was in the store one time, I'm a little kid, probably like 4 or 5, and I hear this kid in another row in the grocery store. I hear the kid going, "Mom, Mom," and with my mother, you said "Mom" once, and then you waited. If it was 15 minutes, you waited the 15 minutes. You didn't dare say "Mom" twice. You just wait. You said "Mom" and you waited for her response at her convenience. Well, this kid's going on and on, "Mom, Mom." I'm like, when that kid's gonna get it. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, clock, whack up. I get hit up against the backside of the head. I look around and I go, "Mom, what'd you do that for?" Oh, I thought that was you. I'm thinking to myself, well, I never do something like that. I don't even have time to respond. But then before I can even say anything, she goes, "Well, you must have done something I didn't catch you for." She smacked me. I'm like,
When I was
whatever.
a kid, we got to talk before we got out of the car. You do not ask for anything. You be quiet. We're here for business. We're not here to play. Talking about shopping and whatnot.
Yeah.
No, my mom didn't need to give you no talk. It was already imprinted on your mind.
Well, they kind of refreshed it,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. My grandmother and her sisters, and I don't hear this so much anymore. They had this saying they'd always say, "Children should be seen and not heard. Children should be seen and not heard."
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah, I always remembered
With it.
hating spankings because my parents always used to pick old toys of ours to beat us with. You know those little paddle ball paddles with
Yeah.
the rubber band between the ball and the paddle. Once the rubber band broke, those paddles were fair game to use on our
I don't
butts.
know. Hot wheel tracks, old plastic
Hot wheel
tracks.
tracks. One time, Dad we had bows and arrows we shot in the backyard, and yeah, if there was an arrow lying around, that was fair game to get a swat across the rear with.
Oh man, it made you think about what toys you asked for, though. If the
I
potential
know.
to be beaten with them.
All I know is that this video.
Start asking for plush
Yeah, I was gonna stuffed animals. I want a stuffed animal.
stuff.
Why? Because they don't hurt when you hit me with them.
What's that, Tara? Me?
It's some kind of fur coat. I don't know what kind.
Yeah.
It ain't mink. It's some kind of different fur. It's a nice coat. But
Mm. Yeah, it looks nice.
I kind of like it, but I just don't think I'd ever wear it.
There's a guy that came in the store this
Yeah.
last weekend,
Oh, you look
and
good.
it was yeah.
And when am I gonna wear it? Well, when we go to Lee's Chicken Buffet, I'm gonna wear my fur coat.
What were you saying, Sally?
There was a guy, and he had a full length fur coat, but it was like this black and gray fur. Oh, it was so pretty.
Yeah, this is a very. I don't know exactly. I can't ID its fur, but it is a very nice fur.
It's probably
got my
I
mom-
would give you like rabbit or something, would it?
We should go to the chicken buffet today, and I'll wear this fur coat because it's cold.
We got one of my mom, this red fox fur coat.
Ooh,
And it's real. But you can't sell that on eBay, so
why?
I said I was told you can't sell real furs on eBay.
Yes, you can.
I have.
Unless they change something.
Oh, really?
I mean, is this recent?
Yeah, we
No,
I mean,
That's
I've been
why
selling furs for forever.
really? Because I've just I heard it a long time ago, and I just never put that coat up because I know it's worth money.
I just looked up this brand, and there's 130 of this particular brand of coat on eBay.
Wow.
And I'm not even going with all the other fur. I've sold I've sold mink. I've sold coyote. I've sold fox. I've sold blonde mink. Yeah, no, you can. Why? It's not illegal to own. I mean, you can go buy a fur coat now.
I sold fox and rabbit.
Taxidermy can be funny because
maybe that's where I got the information about it being.
because something like there are some state laws where you have to have like the license from when you shot the animal still with the mount, like something like a duck. I won't touch a duck because eBay wants you to have the federal duck stamp and the hunting license from when the duck was shot because that's a federal migratory bird. But I mean, I mean, unless there's something that's changed that I don't know about, you can sell a fur.
South Carolina has some funny rules about selling taxidermy.
Kentucky, Jim. What'd you say about Kentucky here? Are you supposed to have the license from the deer? With a deer mount, you are supposed to have the license.
Yeah,
with
Wisconsin doesn't require it, but what Kentucky does.
Wow.
Well, we don't get as many deer mounts here anyway.
No.
Yeah, as long as it's not a bald eagle coat, you should be fine.
Yeah.
I know you can't sell eagle feathers and stuff like that. You're not allowed to sell stuff.
No.
You can't. You're not supposed to even obtain eagle feathers. Like I lived in northern Wisconsin. There's eagles everywhere there. You're not even, and everybody does it. You're not even supposed to pick up eagle feathers and when they shed them, you're not even supposed to take those eagle feathers. You're not even supposed to own them. Now,
that one lady came in. Remember, she's on vacation, but they let her keep them. Elizabeth Warren.
Shut up, Rick. I knew somebody that had an eagle taxidermy mount because there was a time like before I don't know what the year is, maybe like 39 or whatever, where you could legally own a mounted like eagle. But then they became endangered, so she had to have special paperwork that said that this piece of taxidermy was older than whatever that cutoff date is.
That was an Elizabeth Warren lady.
No, this was not. You're just being a jerk. Go eat your Sour Patch Kids somewhere else.
Well, guys, I got to take somebody to work. So I
Yeah,
got
good one. You chased Tom right off. You made him end his show.
no.
I got some stuff to do too.
Sasha's got a job and he works 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. So I had to make sure he's there.
Wow. What's he doing?
He's working for Sam's at the warehouse.
Oh, good.
He's still a student, but he wants money.
Yeah.
And anyway, he came home and went to bed last night. So he's not staying up till 2:00 in the morning anymore. He's going to bed, but he's working from 12 to 8:30 or something of that sort. So
Yeah.
told him he says it's time to be saving up that money for his car insurance
Mm-hmm.
and for a car, because we'll throw some money in on a car. But he's liking it. He likes money. He likes being. If you want to see something he wants to have the money on hand to do it. But he's also cheap.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He has buyer's remorse real bad. But anyhow, Sally, you gonna do it tomorrow? You want me to do it again?
Sally's gone.
Where the hell she
No,
go?
that's already.
Where did
Sally,
she
if
go?
you're listening. Dang it. Anyhow, either Sally or I'll do a show tomorrow. And y'all have
What Mr. Sadie said.
What was it? No, I'm looking at this. I'm doing a listing.
He said when we were talking about getting toys used as paddles, he said that's what happened to Todd. He got choked at one time too many with yo-yo. Anyway, sorry, we're ending the show.
That's all right. Thank y'all for coming in. I truly appreciate you all, the panelists coming in, and I appreciate everybody coming. 26 people, hey, in the chat.
Thumbs up, everybody.
And we'll see y'all tomorrow, either my channel or Sally's channel. So have a great day.
Power went out.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, everybody.